Hey guys, Confirmed I'm here back with another video here looking at Bitcoin XRP, seeing what's going on with the rest of the market, seeing what we're going to be experiencing the rest of the week. So, as you can see here, we did kind of lose our support here. We couldn't get through 50,580. We were talking about that earlier in the week on Monday. Absolutely could not. And after constant battling, we see ourselves falling. Came back to the same point around 50,634. You know, give or take just a little bit. Same that we saw over here on February 17th. So within the past 4 days, come back retesting the same point. But what we see happening now is we're consolidating. All right, cool. But we're using the same bottom here, using a kind of descending kind of wedge here like that. So it looks like even from this sort of standpoint, you're still looking at that same sort of target downside to at least the last high that we saw over here, which would be sitting right there. Look at that right on top, sitting at that 48.4 just about, but obviously that's our high from before. And then we have our previous right there on 47.3. So those are two things I'm looking at with Bitcoin. Those are two ways you can look at it, two ways that you can delve into it. If you wanted to take an inverse on here, you definitely could. You could do this. Let's drag it. Excuse me. Can take the recent bottom right there to the recent top, which is right there, 49.349, and look at that, 2.618. If it's actually able to fall through that region, which is close enough to our 48. So I would say that that's definitely on the radar. Come over here to the RSI. You can see the clear rejection here on the RSI. Looks like it needs to come down a little further in order for it to complete. Makes sense as we came up here to around the 86, got a retracement, flew up, couldn't get through here at the 76, around the 786, couldn't do that. So unfortunately, it's time for us to retest. We haven't been down in this region, technically down here in the 30s since January, so it's been like, what, 3-4 weeks. So it's about time for it to do something, it looks like. But what I would say, looking at that, just, play it. We can obviously be optimistic, but I see us constantly hitting a ceiling here at that 52,580 just about, and then getting rejected and looking towards the downside. You can see here on the chart that we did before, you do a high to a low. If you do our high here at 58.80 just about, use the low that we had done here, you can see try and get up here to 702 and rejecting. So we got this sort of trend on the top. So if we're going to further decide what we're going to think is going to want to happen here with Bitcoin, I guess you could realistically just look in here in the MACD, see what's happened in the past, and you can see Bitcoin's kind of, we amounted to the same spot we did over here in December 23 when we did our massive correction here in the RSI. So even if you were to do something like, we did our run up and our pull down and then do something like that, you can grab it, move it over, you can see the same sort of thing. It makes sense even from seeing that same sort of height, because even over here we hit it before, we did level out for a little bit, get a kind of a retracement, and then the fall back down. So regardless, I think even if it winds up leveling off, the volumes just to get stagnant. And usually even with that same sort of movement, what we wind up seeing is if we're going to look in that same sort of movement, let's go down here. And you can see here, it was just that steady grind up from 33 to 37. So actually, right, was that in that region? Exactly. I think it was. Yeah, from here to here. Oh, barely. What was it? From 36 to 37.7. So not really even anything that crazy to note. But then we got that fall right back down to the same point in the beginning, and then started moving ourselves back up. But what I'm thinking in terms of our current correction here, we were able to come back down, we corrected, flew back up, back tested, and threw ourselves out. So actually, I don't even think we realistically even really back tested to the extent we should have. Obviously we flew up here, came back down, but we didn't really retest this 47 after we flew out. So I think realistically, if we're going to think about it critically like that, getting a rejection here and coming back down and retesting here would be the best thing for Bitcoin, because then we're going to solidify our base here on top of that major resistance that we had, and then we can fly out. And that's at least what makes sense to me. But regardless, we'll see how XRP is doing. And exactly what we thought. I mean, look at not touching that for a couple days, and literally, it works. It literally works magic, doesn't it? Just seeing it come to the top of the region, come to the center, come to the top, come back to the bottom, and start grinding upwards. So XRP is doing this for the next week and a half. There ain't much to say here. I don't even think so. Realistically, XRP got that push up there to, what was this? On the MACD, we got 70 in the RSI there, 4 hours. Let's see on the daily what this looks like. Let's grab that. Grow over here. Yeah, so I guess I see that happening, but the volume is dwindling, and it looks like it's coming back down for a bearish swing again. So actually, we're neutral, though, on the RSI. So it really is a sentiment that we're going to wind up seeing in this point. So we have something in the works for XRP. If we wind up crossing, because we're losing that volume here in the MACD, we're net neutral here in the RSI, so it's kind of it's more indicating towards the lower side. So, but we still have a couple days, but like you can see, it takes a couple days for the trend to end. So what we're going to wind up seeing here with XRP is these trend lines kind of merge and it go like this and bounce up, and then we get the second wave, sort of like this, how we get that second wave where we're able to grab that, do that second wave to the upside, and then we can talk about XRP getting further price approval and price action to the upside. So you have that possibility with XRP, but at the moment, keep your eyes peeled. We're in net neutral zone. We have about a week for it to play out. Looks like about next Friday. So not this coming Friday, next Friday is when this will come to a close, and we will see XRP come to that precipice, and we should see it either skyrocket up there to around the 64 cents, top of the region here around 61, probably overreach here just about 64, 65, or we're going to wind up seeing it kind of come back down and cascade to around 49 cents again. But obviously, if it's to adhere by this longer trend and kind of go with history, I would say it'd be towards the upside. But remember, we must really just hunker down and look at clues, context clues, and see how it is. As we can see in the past, how things have worked out all throughout time here for XRP. So I'm going to be going with that latter half. Literally almost not the exact same thing, but you can see that push up to the upside, the consolidation downwards, and then the throw to the upside. So if you were to take some sort of bars pattern, I guess in that regard, something like this, and you were to kind of take it out like this, obviously it's a little bit more elongated because of the heights are a little bit different. So if you were to do something more like this and do something more along that same height, obviously it's not going to skyrocket up here to $1. But what I would expect is something alongside of this bars pattern of it kind of consolidating, holding underneath this line, our support here, and then getting the breakthrough at the end. But to an extent, these numbers make sense. I think if we were to really kind of hone it in on it, I think it'd be, we'll say that original size. That original size was here, right? Yeah, it was. Okay. So that original size is this one right here. So this would make the most sense to me. It would be coming down underneath here and then flying up to the upside. It looks like that first push is up there to around 67, a knock back down to the top of the range, and then it would come back up, try flying for that 63 to 73 it looks like a little overextension there to 78.83, and then the fall back down to the region here on top of that trend line and keeping itself going, which would make sense with what XRP has done. But let's see how it goes, guys. Hope you guys are having a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Remember, it's just trying to go with the market, kind of trying to see. We're just trying to hone in and understand what's going on in the crypto market. Obviously, you can see over here, Dow Jones, everything's kind of starting to cool off a little bit. We're starting to see it start to curtail back to not the downside, but curtail itself to the a retracement. It has been since the 15th of December. Obviously, seeing ourselves flying up here, but the MACD is indicating to us that it's losing its steam. RSI is showing it's losing steam, even though it did come up here and hit a high. This is like Bitcoin, 2021 when we got that new all-time high. And but the RSI was already pulled back and the MACD was already pulled back, but you can still do that. So, but regardless, guys, hope you're having a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Appreciate every single one of you. Remember, just kind of keep your head on a swivel. It's A-okay with me. It's how it be. And let's see how it goes. We've got about a week for XRP. Bitcoin shall be making its determination within the next couple of days, finishing out this week, getting the definitive move that we're going to be expecting. And hope you guys are having a wonderful one. I'll see you guys in the next one, and enjoy yourselves. Bye, guys.